Almost every professional killer in The Sopranos was a complete disaster. So, who was really the best hitman? One of the show's enduring fascinations is how spectacularly bad its so-called professionals are at the one thing they're supposedly born to do: kill discreetly. Across 6 seasons, the mobsters boast, bluster, and brag. But when it comes time to actually pull the trigger, the results swing between chilling efficiency and pure slapstick. Still, the question remains: who was the true master of murder? Christopher Moltisanti, deadshot in a tracksuit. Christopher is the obvious candidate for best marksman. When bullets start flying, he doesn't miss. Sean Gismonte's ambush? Chris kills him instantly while under fire. Jackie Jr.'s hapless friend in the botched stick-up? Dropped cleanly.
I hit him! I fucking hit him!
Even the random vipers on the street weren't safe. If there's a gun in his hand, the odds tilt in his favor. But reliability is another matter. Christopher's gift for aim is offset by his gift for self-sabotage. He is volatile, emotional, and never more than a few snorts away from nodding out. Entrusting him with a delicate job is like hiring a surgeon who insists on operating after 3 martinis. Skill is undeniable, sobriety optional. Silvio Dante, the professional. Silvio, however, is the true businessman's assassin. When Tony Soprano needs something done cleanly, absolutely no mistakes, he hands it to Sil. Sil doesn't grandstand, doesn't hesitate, and certainly doesn't moralize.
Why are you crying? He's gonna be fine.
The Adriana execution is his most infamous moment, carried out with a chilling lack of emotion.
Call Patsy and them. Said we had to leave. Pipe broke.
His hit on Fat Dom was executed so swiftly that it almost looked accidental. Dustbuster and all.
The hit has to go down someplace else?
Silvio represents the ideal mob killer. Detached, dependable, invisible until the job is over. He doesn't need to be flashy. His brutality is administrative. Bobby Baccalieri Sr., the Terminator with oxygen tanks.
He okayed my dad to do the hit on Mustang Sal.
Few moments in the series capture both the tragedy and the absurdity of mob life, like Bobby Sr. wheezing his way through one final contract killing.
No.
With terminal lung cancer, coughing between bullets, he still manages to execute 2 men half his age before collapsing behind the wheel. It was both grotesque and awe-inspiring. A reminder that even the most broken body can still deliver death if properly motivated. In his prime, one imagines, he would have been unstoppable. The scary Asian in the elevator. For sheer atmosphere, no one eclipses the anonymous hitman in Miami who nearly takes Ralphie out. The man's dead eyes and quiet menace were so convincing that even Ralph, usually impervious to intimidation, was rattled. He projected aggression like a laser beam, which may or may not be an ideal quality in a contract killer. One could argue a true professional ought to blend in, look like a tourist with a camera, not a specter from a nightmare. Still, as pure television menace, he wins in a landslide. Mikey Palmisi, loyal executioner.
Fucking Mikey Palmisi does their hit.
Mikey Palmisi deserves mention for his cold efficiency under Junior Soprano.
My friend Brendan, you shot him in his bathtub naked.
When an order came down, Mikey carried it out without hesitation, and without farming it out to underlings. His style lacked elegance.
Bye, Jack.
He was more blunt instrument than scalpel, but in the world of mob enforcement, blunt instruments often get the job done. His only fatal flaw was underestimating his enemies. Furio Junta, imported muscle.
We deal with him to a guy named Furio Junta.
When Furio first appears, he looks like the answer to every mob boss's dream. A one-man wrecking crew imported from Naples, capable of flattening anyone in his path.
If you can keep your head while those around you...
His brutality was immediate and terrifying, and for a time, he seemed unstoppable. Unfortunately, the writers veered him into melodrama with his Carmela infatuation, turning a potential Terminator into a lovelorn tourist. Still, judged solely by physical intimidation and willingness to act, Furio was top-tier muscle who could have dominated as a hitman if the script allowed it. Vito Spatafori, the back-of-the-head specialist. Vito's talent lay not in subtlety, but in suddenness. He had a knack for materializing behind people and firing off shots with surprising accuracy. His execution of Jackie Jr. was almost cartoonishly efficient, as if he'd teleported into position.
You weren't there for the Grand Inquisition about Vito.
Of course, his other long game, infecting partners with AIDS, was a darkly comic form of murder in itself, though hardly the mob-sanctioned kind. The outsiders and oddities. A few wild cards deserve mention. Patsy Parisi, though shaky around Tony, had the demeanor of someone who could be meticulous when needed.
I'm in no mood for you.
Janice Soprano, in one heated domestic moment, casually dispatched Richie Aprile with a double tap, proof that passion sometimes trumps planning.
Oh, so he comes again.
Even Svetlana, with her prosthetic leg, pulled off an act of ruthless efficiency when pushed.
Look at this guy. Members only?
And then there is the eternal mystery, the members-only jacket man, whose ambiguous exit line may have ended the series itself. If he did, in fact, kill Tony, he accomplished the ultimate Sopranos hit, one that silenced the show forever. Tony Soprano, a boss with blood on his hands. While not a hitman in the professional sense, Tony himself carried at least 7 bodies over the course of the series. Febby, Pussy, Ralph, Tony B, and others. His violence was less clinical and more volcanic, spur-of-the-moment eruptions of rage. He wasn't a specialist, he was a boss who couldn't resist getting his hands dirty when provoked. The case for ineptitude. It must be said, most of these supposed killers are, at best, competent amateurs.
You kill little Cosette.
Christopher folds under emotional stress. Paulie's hit on the Russian devolves into slapstick survival comedy.
Get out! Open the fucking door!
Even seasoned veterans make mistakes, draw attention, or get caught up in their own neuroses. More often than not, their murders are messy, noisy, and anything but discreet. The verdict. If judged purely by marksmanship, Christopher takes the crown. If judged by professionalism, Silvio is the undisputed choice. For raw intimidation, Furio and the nameless elevator assassin embody the archetype. For tragic spectacle, Bobby Sr. is unmatched. And for narrative irony, the members-only jacket man wins for possibly ending Tony Soprano's story in a blink. Ultimately, the genius of The Sopranos lies not in glorifying these killers, but in exposing their incompetence. Almost every murder is sloppy, traumatic, or absurd. Unlike other crime dramas, this show never let its hitmen look like James Bond. Instead, it revealed them for what they really were: flawed, addicted, aging, bumbling men who occasionally got the job done. Until the day they didn't. So, who was the best hitman? The only honest answer is this: none of them. The crown belongs to chaos itself, which did more killing across the series than any soldier ever could. Silvio doesn't miss, but you might if you don't subscribe.